Okay. So, if the material is null, oh god, what do I want to do? If the material is null, I want to hide some of the gadgets. So, I'll just go through this. The save button, hide. There's no real overhead to calling hide if they're already hidden. The load button does not get hidden. The load button I'm going to bank on me never hiding the load button. The show all button is hidden. The scale 1 button is hidden. The close button is not hidden. So what remains is open latest and load. Otherwise I'll just make sure that the save button, because that might have been hidden previously, is shown, and the show all button is shown, and the scale 1 button is shown. Now, if this is a situation where the material is not null, but if showing latest flag equals true, then open latest is hidden. Otherwise, open latest is shown. And just to be clear, I will say open latest, open latext show, just because it's going to get switched on and off. If there's no material there, I want to make sure it's shown, because it doesn't matter if somehow it's showing the latest still. If this showing latest flag is still true, I should make sure that when the latest is shown, like here, showing latest flag is true, and here showing latest flag is false. That's under all circumstances, but here, if material, that's true, but otherwise showing latest flag is false. So that if it failed to load the pung, it doesn't think it's loading, it doesn't think it's showing the latest. But this little bit of stuff down here should protect it anyway. Okay. So, now, in work, I might just say if mouse, oh man, I always forget how to access the parts of the mouse as well. Button pressed, yeah. Well, first off, I could say if what is it, mouse covered? If mouse over. Gadgets know if the mouse is over them. button, middle, end. If mouse button, mouse, press mouse button, middle. Oh, one moment. I'm going to interrupt myself. Okay. Back instantly. Now, so basically I think that what I do is I say, you know, there's probably a mouse X speed. In fact, I'm sure there is. I'm sure I'm using it already. I just say offset X plus equals mouse X speed. And I might be getting this the wrong way around. I probably am, because I always do. And update matrix. And if mouse button pressed, mouse button right, do something weird with the scale, and then update the matrix again. And the weird thing I do with the scale is terrible, basically. I mean, don't know what to say about it. Let me have a quick look at what I do in the in the work zone, which is just an absolute kludge, which I don't enjoy at all. Oh, gadget, covered gadget is how I do it there. I guess I'll say the same. Yeah, and here I'm having to do more complicated things. But here I just really need to... just out of curiosity, when it's state scrolling here, it's the display x minus. So, oh, and divided by display z. So I will remember that. It's minus and divided by the scale. Okay. What else was I going to look at? This, yeah, here. Z plus mouse speed times that, with a limit of that and that. 10 is kind of, it's like the problem with this is, it takes ages to scroll into something tiny, and you scroll out. No, to scroll it, yeah, it takes ages to scroll in to get it enormous, and you scroll out instantly. And obviously, if I was a more natural mathematician, I'd say it's something like the mouse speed squared or something, or I don't know what it is. No, it's not. It's like... I don't know what it is. Yeah. Well, but anyway, sorry, I'm gonna have to do something like this anyway. Scale equals g limit. Yeah, it's current scale plus the mouse speed times something with some limits. Okay, the scale limit. Right, in here. First off, this is minus. Oops. Minus, and it's times scale. Or was it divided by scale? I think it was divided by. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure. And again, I always get the order of it the wrong way around, like I did this time. So, and in this case, it's scale equals g limit. Scale plus mouse y speed. I have a feeling mouse y speed is actually mine. times 0.005. I'm going to just make it the same. And 10. It's utterly pointless. It's like I'll make it 2.0 and just see how it feels. And then update the matrix again. And that's about it. Excuse me having coffee. Now I start to get anxious because I think, well, what else is it I need to do? The resize just updates the matrix. The finish draw just draws the correct material, supposedly, within the transform vertices. Load pung just takes a path and loads it up. Oh, I should leave this till after, because actually this should also, well, I don't have to leave it till after if I do this. Update gadgets. Okay, well, you know, I'm gonna have to start running it sooner or later, so I'll get up and stick one of these in, which will mean some other bits and pieces. How am I doing? I had about 5 minutes before and about 6 minutes now. So, inside GUI. Work zone, you are interesting to look at, but you're no use to me now. GUI. Project menu. There's a new button. And it is... it's slightly in between. Global View button. Or image button. I think I'm going to call it View button. It opens the image viewer. My button. Now, inside setup, the project menu is created and a little bit is added, and then I say view button equals new my button belonging in the top bar, and it will be called image viewer, and it will be at CX, CY, button width, comma, button height, and it will be stuck to the left, just like everything at that end of the top bar. Stuck to the left, but with the top and bottom stuck to the top and bottom. And CX plus equals view button width plus bore. Now inside response, oops, not that far back, but just before preview recursions button, just so that I'm looking along them in order. In the view button, I want to say new you know, I thought I actually defined something. I really thought I'd already kinda... Did I just accidentally remove it? Oh, it's below gradient editor. Yeah. No, it's not. What? Did I not have an image viewer or something? That's... wow, look at all that stuff I've written. That's just, you know, in the last couple of weeks, gradient editor. No, I guess, and there's video options. This must be image options. Here is the render options. Gosh, yeah. Help. Draw mode options. And that's the work zone. Now, this is a bit of a problem. Goodness me, there's so much stuff. I'm just pausing to look at it all. Okay, well, that's very strange. But, okay. I don't know what happened to it because I am certain I made something. But I think, will I make it just above work zone like a cheeky sod? Class image viewer. End. Method new. End. Now, this image viewer is just going to open up in the whole screen. There's a thing called Gadget, which if I wanted to I could open up one inside a window, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go straight for you passing not much in. The image viewer is part of the cursor in the way that the Gadget isn't. So when the image viewer is opened, well, you know, maybe I could pass in a path. And if p is dit, then it's going to open the latest render, so that if for some reason, you know, maybe it is some other part of the program might want to open the image viewer with this, with an actual existing image, a sort of one off the hard disk, so to speak. Even though the last image is coming off the hard disk, obviously. So, what am I thinking? This needs to open like, it needs to do a few things, but one thing it needs to do is when GUI response, what on earth? Pick types no longer found. Pick types is a strange thing to say there. In fact, it's totally wrong. What is and oh, okay, yeah, no, sorry, that's me catching myself. Okay, well, I'll leave it there. That's no, that doesn't make sense. I'm just going to make it say file types there because I don't want it saying pick types, and in fact I'm going to blot that out. Where was I? I was in GUI, response, flipping here. This, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to rhyme it all out for now because I don't want to think about it, but this bit I'm just going to say file types. Really, it's going to be enforcing an MP4. So I have to refine this a little bit so that it's not saying file types anymore, so that it's saying you're getting an MP4 or nothing. Now, settle. This is where I wanted to look. New that's it. Because the image viewer will do some palavers. It will say, if gradient editor, hide. If draw options, hide. If render options, hide. These are all the things that may be open in the window layer. Now, I'm going to add it to the top of the desktop layer, and it's going to occupy the whole screen. So, and what I'm going to put there is a zone. Zones are non-sensitive now. I think I had recorded a way back when, but that's fine because the zone itself is going to be covered by however many instances of the Pung gadget that you have currently open. Pardon me. So one thing I might have, one way of doing it, is to have what? I've just realized something. This is going to be slightly tricky. Well, a field called views of type Pung gadget, of type list of type Pung gadget equals new list of type Pung gadget. Also, there will be new view, my button. Oops, I've got to do that. Oh me, how am I doing? 18. I will be lucky if I get this going again in this video. That's a mere... well, it's one entire video behind where I predicted. I didn't get it going the end of last video. I don't think I'm going to get it going the end of this video. Anyway. So. Now. What does I have to do now? Another thing I want is method cleanup, which I'm pretty sure is void. And in here, I say, oh, hang on, image viewer isn't a gadget, but I will make it one. And then I don't need a new view, I don't need a zone, I just have a new view button. What's cleanup void override? If gradient editor show, if draw. I suppose another thing would be to hide the window layer, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Apart from anything, I I need the window layer visible, oops, when I open the load or save file requester. Okay. Now this extends a gadget, so now I say setup desktop zone. It still thinks desktop.zone is something, somehow. 0.0, comma 0.0, comma... Now do I just go straight for -1? I think I do, and we'll just see if it works. 0, comma 0, 0, heck with it, and cos d blank. Now, so the way this is supposed to work, I'm supposed to be able to say something like add view void, and it should be able to go through the views. Well, if there's no views at all, then it should add one that occupies the whole screen. If there isn't, it needs to add a view to the list. Okay, so that's actually all it does. It adds a view to the list, figures out how wide each view should be, because this is the way I'm doing it. For now, at least, I'm dividing it up horizontally. So, I need to make a new pun gadget. Yeah, so local, probably don't even need to do that, but yeah, let's new npg equals Gadget equals new pun gadget self, and this can just be nothing else because it's about to get set up afterwards. Now I say views add last. I'm going to have to watch this actually. This might be a bit clumsy, basically. We'll see. I'm going to see when I get to the bit of it. Views add last, and then I have to say for a local v gadget equals each in views, and I have to say something like local cx float equals 0.0, and I'm going to just do this as well, even though it's a bit redundant. In case I come up with other ways of arranging views, I'll just sort of something like that. And view width float is going to equal face width divided by the float of views count. View height float is just going to equal face height. And I'm going to say what am I going to say? Oh man, there's a tricky bit about this. Okay, gosh. Well, first off, I have to say v arrange, I think it is, cx, comma cy, comma view width, comma view height. Then I have to say cx plus equals view width. Now, I think that's fine. The problem is that if this... Well, do I have to care about this? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. What I was going to say is that what I should now do as well is, for each view, perform a sort of... God damn it. I'm going to have to do this. I should align the sides, but it takes kind of care. Let me see. Okay. Well, I suppose I can do it just like I can clumsily clunk through it. If... Oh, man. Views... Count. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to say local numv int equals views count. Save me having to count and count and count. Numv. If numv equals 1, and this is one of these times when I think, what is the best logic? Because here's a way of doing it. If numv is greater than 0, well, it must have something here if it's added a view. But if it's greater than 1, else, and then here it is 1. In here it's if numv is greater than 2, and I don't like it. Okay, I know a different way of doing it. And it's doing it inside the loop. And I'm saying local current view uint equals 0. And here I say select current view end. It's clumsy as hell, but I just like it. Case 0 is one thing. And is it case numv minus 1? And then there's the default. And in the case of 0, it's v align sides 0, 2, 0, 1. That is, the left-hand side is locked to the left, the right-hand side is going to float proportionally. The top and bottom are locked to the top and bottom. In the case of the last one, the sides are aligned so that the left-hand side will float proportionally. The right-hand side is locked high to the right-hand side of the gadget, and the top and bottom are locked to high and low. And in the case of any other, then both the left and right sides float proportionally, and the top and bottom are locked to the top and bottom respectively. Now, am I right about that numv minus 1 being right? Yeah, I think so. Because I start at 0 and I count up, and then I say cv plus equals 1. And that's it. And I hope that that is right. Now what that does is add a view. I will need to have something to remove a view, and I have to think now. What is it I'm passing in to remove a view? Because this is the crux of what I was humming and hawing about earlier. How's my time? 29 when I'm at 35. What is it I'm passing into remove view? And actually, into add view, do I sometimes want to pass? No, forget it just now. Maybe I do, but for now, forget it. Now, when the PNG gadget's created, a link to it is added to the views. A reference to it is added to views. Now, what I was thinking was that I would leave the close button, and that in fact here is the place where I should say something like, okay, yeah, here is the place where I should say npg close button set event response close view. Okay. Yeah. Is this a wise thing to do? Let me just start typing it out. Maybe I should just have gone for remove a view there, but because actually this is what it does. Hang on a sec. Close view, void, and I hadn't really thought, but what I'm getting is an event. GUI space event. And I can just rattle through the views. I just say for local v PNG Gadget equals each in views, and I say if, okay, yeah, no, yeah, I do split this into two. I think if e origin equals v, is that right? No, no. If e origin equals v close button, v remove view. Is this sensible actually? Because I'm right here on v now. So what I need is another thing which is actually okay, right, so sorry for the pause. I just do VRemove, and then I say this is going to be close response. Close response actually calls remove view v exit and returns actually, and remove view does accept PNG Gadget. And it kind of just hunts through them and pops it out. It's not the most views does a... Oh, don't do this to me. Where's the rest of my code? Yeah, it's not found because of why? Because the rest of my code has disappeared because I've missed some, like a return or something. Okay, this, like that, makes everything disappear, so suddenly got Gadget. Okay, I'll give you a moment. Let me actually look up Gadget. When I... Okay, so there's not a remove, and there's not even a... There's not even a clean up. I'm off my head. So I definitely need a clean up here because it's gotta do the stuff it does like in LoadPung. Material discard. So method cleanup material if material. Okay, yeah, if material. Material discard. Okay, yeah, I know. Void override. This is where I'm really going to start looking for memory leaks. Material equals null. And I think that's about it. That is called when the remove method is called, among everything else that's done when a gadget is removed. This is called, and in this case it does have a job, which is to remove any material that happens to be still here associated with the gadget. Now, which should mean that I'm safe in Image Viewer to say VRemove. And actually, I better here, when I clean up here, I gotta go for local v PN Gadget equals each in views. What do? I say VRemove, and that's not removing it from the linked list views, it's just removing the gadget from existence, or from the, you know, the gadget hierarchy. And the reference to it that exists in the views list is about to, you know, disappear. Views clear. So I'm assuming that that will work. But then I need to do something else, which is I need to sort of method arrange views, because when I remove a view, the same basic thing has to happen as happens here, which is this. Whenever I add or remove a view, I must arrange the views. I don't think I need to worry about anything other than that, except for the fact that this blatantly belongs in there. So when an image viewer is first opened, it's set up, then add view is called. Now at the moment the add view, the new view button isn't there, and I realise I'm a bit sort of I realise I've got a problem with the new view button, which is there's no space for it anywhere. If I want the entire screen to be given over to the views, then there is no space for it. I suppose, you know, one thing I haven't yet done, but I have to do, is I haven't yet put in the bit about hiding the controls. And an aspect of that is time. I haven't yet put in about the option to hide the controls with a hotkey space. I think it's going to be. I think I'm going to change hiding controls to space. And you know, for the purposes of, or maybe in this case, space should toggle the controls. Mystery. Okay, let me think again for a sec. Think, man. You know something? I'm going to have to call it a video and think again next time. It's nearly 50 minutes. I'm getting really close here, and I think that I might make it a hotkey to add a view. I will know about that. No one else will know about that. It's not a lot of use. I'll have a think about it. But for now, I will make it hide the controls on a hotkey and add a control with a hotkey next time.